Mahua Maitra has cried foul. The opposition has walked out and united around the furious figure of Mahua Maitra, who says the war will continue against the government. Mahua Maitra, immediately after her expulsion from the Lok Sabha, says there is no evidence of any money trail as is being alleged in the ethics panel report. She says the ethics panel has refused to summon businessman Hiranandani, who via an affidavit had leveled many serious allegations of quid pro quo against his former friend Mahua Maitra. That's the big story we're tracking at this point of time. The fallout is coming in thick and fast, but the biggest immediate consequence, apart from what Mahua Maitra has said, is that the India alliance has united firmly around Mahua Maitra. I'm Shiv, this is 5 Live. The full story ahead. As always, the headlines first. Mahua claims ethics panel acted without proof to expel her in a hurry. Trinamool Supremo Mamata Banerjee backs Mahua, calls her a victim of circumstances.
All of us MPs are conveyor belts to get questions from the public, from citizens, and to voice that in Parliament. If this Modi government thought that by shutting me up, they are going to do away with the Adani issue.
More than 100 crores in cash seized in the premises owned by Congress Member of Parliament Dheeraj Sahu in Jharkhand. Prime Minister Modi slams the Congress, says every penny looted will be returned. Big Mahayuti rift in Maharashtra over out on bail MCP leader Nawab Malik. Fadnavis and Shinde oppose Malik's induction. Ajit Pawar's NCP faction backs him. Siddaramaiah government in Karnataka stokes a fresh row. Priyank Kharge claims Savarkar poster should be removed from the Vidhana Saudha in Belagavi. BJP lashes out, threatens wide protests in the country. Putin hails Prime Minister Modi, says Modi stern on protecting national interests and is not scared to take tough calls despite external pressure. Bringing you all the news breaks in the wake of Trinamool leader Mahua Maitra's expulsion from the Lok Sabha. Mahua Maitra, our sources tell us, has just spoken to her party boss Mamata Banerjee, West Bengal Chief Minister, over the phone following her expulsion from Parliament. Mamata Banerjee is said to have told Mahua Maitra that the Trinamool Congress, her party, is completely in solidarity with her, behind her, with her, and will support her no matter what it takes. Remember, Mamata Banerjee had earlier been accused of not really committing to supporting Mahua Maitra on this entire issue. But following that expulsion, the support from the Trinamool and specifically from Didi, from Mamata Banerjee herself, has solidified and provided a degree of clarity for Mahua Maitra, which comes as a relief even on a day when she's been expelled from Parliament. Suryagni Roy joins me live from Kolkata. Suryagni, Mamata's support, is a boost for Mahua Maitra, especially since in the past there have been questions over whether the Trinamool is committed to supporting her in public.
Well, absolutely, Shiv. And Mamata Banerjee has, come out publicly and, she has supported Mahua Moitra in this particular case where she got expelled. Now, Banerjee was asked in that, whether Mahua will be allowed to contest, and she said that why not? She doesn't see any issues on why Mahua will not be allowed to contest, and she's also made a district president of Krishnanagar. So that clearly indicates that Mamata Banerjee is supporting Mahua. She has categorically mentioned that the party is backing her, is with her, and according to sources, Mahua and Mamata Banerjee also spoke over the phone, where Mamata Banerjee told Mahua that she and the party are are backing her. Back to you.
Okay, Suryagni, thanks very much for that. Mamata Banerjee has now made it clear that the Trinamool Congress stands with Mahua Moitra. She also claims the BJP, Mamata claims the BJP violated constitutional norms by refusing to give enough time for a debate over the ethics panel report that recommended the expulsion of Mahua Moitra. Listen in to what Mamata has just said.
Party is totally behind the Mahua, and our party will fight along with Indian Alliance together. This matter opened our eyes again against the vindictive politics of BJP. It is a betray to our constitutional rights. They ditch the people, they ditch the parliament, they ditch the constitution because they have the majority. Today maybe they are in majority, but tomorrow they may not be there. We have also 2/3 majority. We can do anything. We can expel anybody from the house. But is it proper without the detailed case only to expel somebody will give the justice? Today I congratulate the Indian Alliance. All they are together. We are united. They fight back. And party fully supporting Mahua's case. She is elected by the people. And she belongs to women and young generation and for all the community, caste, creed and everything.
And in response to Mamata Banerjee stepping in to provide her support to her former Member of Parliament, Mahua Moitra, the BJP has now hit back in a big way at the West Bengal Chief Minister. The BJP says Mamata used state CID machinery to snoop on Mahua. Very, very grave charge from the BJP saying that Mamata Banerjee used state machinery to snoop and spy on Mahua Moitra. The BJP says Mamata was aware of Mahua's actions, the alleged actions that have gotten her expelled, and the BJP has now challenged Mamata to sack Mahua Moitra. Well, that's not going to happen given that Mamata Banerjee has just made it very clear where the Trinamool stands as far as Mahua Moitra is concerned. I want to bring in India Today's Poulomi Saha, who tracks the BJP for us. Poulomi, Mamata Banerjee coming out, settling all arguments and doubts over the nature of her support for Mahua Moitra. The BJP leveling a very grave charge. What do they mean? They're saying Mamata was spying and keeping tabs on Mahua and was aware of these things that she's been accused of.
That's right. It's a very serious charge which has been levelled by the BJP against Mamata Banerjee, saying that she was using the state CID. I'm just going to quote from what Amit Malviya, who's the West Bengal co-in-charge for the Bharatiya Janata Party, and what he's posted on social media platform X. Mahua Moitra had become the face of impropriety in the parliament. Her expulsion was imminent to restore the credibility of the institution. But it is Mamata Banerjee's patronage and selective support for the delinquent MP that must be questioned. She had the state CID snooping on her, so she was aware of everything Mahua Moitra was up to. Did she willfully allow the MP to undermine the institution of parliament, to exercise leverage on corporate houses? What did the poor of Bengal gain? Poor have lost their land and acres of mango groves to Mamata Banerjee's corporate friends, and the people of Krishnanagar, the constituency Mahua Moitra was elected from, suffered since no one raised their issues. We now know what her priorities were. Mamata Banerjee must sack Mahua Moitra from TMC, failing which it would be obvious that she was acting at her behest. Anyway, nothing moves in the TMC without Mamata Banerjee's consent and active collusion. So the BJP is alleging that Mamata was in the know of everything that Mahua Moitra was doing, including that she was talking to Darshan Hiranandani, that she was allegedly taking down questions from Darshan Hiranandani, allowing him and his staff to use her login credentials, her parliamentary login credentials, to in fact pose those questions, pretending to be Mahua, targeting a rival business group. Very, very serious charges that the BJP is levelling, saying nothing moves in the TMC without Mamata Banerjee's consent. So it's impossible.
Well, stay with me. We're getting a live reaction from the Congress party, which has also stood firmly behind Mahua Moitra. Sonia Gandhi was behind her. Listen in to Supriya Srinath.
प्रधानमंत्री मोदी 18-18 घंटे काम करते हैं और अगर उनके मित्र के खिलाफ कोई बोलेगा तो वो फिर उसकी सजा उसको मिलेगी।
क्या आप और इंडिया अलायंस महुआ मोइत्रा के साथ में खड़े हैं?
मुझे लगता है कि जहां पर मेरी नेता सशक्त रूप से खड़ी हैं, अचल अडिग होकर, जब सोनिया जी खुद खड़ी हो गई वहां पर, तो ये सवाल भी मेरे लिए बेमाना है। मुझे लगता है जिस तरह से राहुल जी, सोनिया जी, हमारे पार्टी के लीडर्स, हमारे सांसद आज महुआ मोइत्रा के साथ खड़े थे, वो विपक्ष की एक आवाज है और हम गांधी की शरण में जाकर अन्याय के खिलाफ हमेशा लड़ेंगे।
आपके सांसद हैं धीरज साहू, उनके जब्त किए गए हैं। प्रधानमंत्री ने ट्वीट भी किया है और इस बात की
प्रधानमंत्री का जो सफर शुरू हुआ था परिधान मंत्री से प्रचार मंत्री बनने का, अब वो ट्रोल मंत्रालय पर आकर रुक चुका है। प्रधानमंत्री अब ट्रोल मंत्रालय का पूरा दारोमदार उठा चुके हैं। उनको ट्रोल मंत्री एक नियुक्त करना था, उन्होंने अपने लोगों को मौका दिया, लेकिन लोग उस तरह से काम नहीं कर पाए जिस तरह से प्रधानमंत्री की आशा थी। अगर प्रधानमंत्री की आप सोशल मीडिया की आजकल की पोस्ट देखिए तो आपको खुद पता चल जाएगा कि अब प्रधानमंत्री ने खुद ट्रोल बनने का पूरा जिम्मा उठा लिया है। धन्यवाद।
डेस्टिनेशन वेडिंग की बात करें, वो कह रहे हैं कि विदेश में जाकर डेस्टिनेशन वेडिंग नहीं करना चाहिए, देश में ही करना चाहिए। उत्तराखंड आइए, देवभूमि, हालांकि कहा जाता है कि ईश्वर जोड़ी बनाते, तो ऐसे में उत्तराखंड आइए और डेस्टिनेशन वेडिंग कीजिए।
मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि प्रधानमंत्री को चिंता ये जतानी चाहिए कि इतने सारे हाई नेटवर्थ इंडिविजुअल्स देश छोड़ के क्यों जा रहे हैं, लोग यहाँ पर आकर निवेश क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं, लोग भारत के अमीर लोग विदेश।
So Mahua Moitra is no longer a member of parliament, but surely she has options for recourse. She can approach a court, can't she? That's, what the logical next step would be. Let's break it down for you. What next for Mahua Moitra? Can she challenge the ethics panel decision? Yes, she can. She can challenge the ethics panel decision. In fact, she has requested Parliament to review its decision to expel her. She can also challenge the ethics panel's jurisdiction. She can seek a diplomatic intervention. She can file a defamation suit also over the allegations against her. I want to bring in Nalini Sharma, who handles our legal desk for us. Nalini, what options, realistically speaking, does Mahua Moitra have at this point of time? We've seen high-profile members of parliament being expelled recently. Rahul Gandhi, of course, the circumstances were quite different. What are Mahua's options?
First and foremost, we need to understand that one of the three principles of natural justice is that everybody should be given a right to a fair hearing, irrespective of where the procedure is going on. So irrespective of the fact that this is a parliamentary procedure, a right to a fair hearing is everybody's right. So on the principles of violation of natural justice, Mahua Moitra first of all, of course, has the option of approaching any court, the Supreme Court or the High Court, challenging the decision of the Ethics Committee, stating that the principles of natural justice were not followed and that she wasn't given a fair hearing. Option number two that's available for Mahua Moitra is to challenge the jurisdiction of the Ethics Committee itself, which means challenging the fact that the Ethics Committee should not have heard this matter in the first place. Because as you know, in the Parliament there's also a Privileges Committee, and what we are getting to know from several experts that we have spoken to, that this is a matter that should have originally gone to the Privileges Committee and not the Ethics Committee. So on that ground, Mahua Moitra can also challenge the jurisdiction of the Ethics Committee. Number three, of course, this is a long shot for her, but Mahua Moitra also has the option of approaching senior parliamentary members or members from the government, trying to prove how there was certain bias in this case, because of which the decision is not fair. And fourth and the last option that's available to her, she already has a defamation case going on in the Delhi High Court regarding these allegations. So in case in that case it's proven that the allegations are false, then that will of course help Mahua Moitra trying to get some relief and overturn the decision of the Ethics Committee itself.
Okay, Nalini, thanks very much for putting that into perspective for us. So there is a possible legal recourse and options before Mahua Moitra. We've got more breaking news coming in. This is a rapidly developing story. We've told you, you can see on our ticker below, all of the things that are options for Mahua and what she stands to lose. But there could be more trouble for Mahua Moitra. BJP sources say that Mahua Moitra's expulsion from parliament is only the first step in a series of actions that are planned against her. The CBI has already filed a preliminary FIR and an investigation will follow. She had all the opportunity to present her side to the ethics panel, so the principle of natural justice has been served, says the BJP, but she walked out in a huff. Her expulsion has several precedents inside parliament as well. Okay, we're joined now by Sunita Duggal. She's a member of parliament and committee member of the ethics committee that recommended the expulsion of Mahua Moitra. Sunita जी, आपका स्वागत है इंडिया टुडे पर। मेरा पहला सवाल सुनीता जी ये है कि महुआ मैत्रा का जो बयान था एक्सपल्शन के बाद, आपने सुना होगा, उनका कहना है कि ये एक कैंगरू कोर्ट है और एथिक्स कमेटी का कोई जुरिस्डिक्शन नहीं है ऐसा रिकमेंडेशन करने का। आप इसका क्या रिएक्शन देंगे सुनीता जी?
देखिए, एथिक्स कमेटी का मतलब ही ये है कि आप पार्लियामेंट के अंदर जो है वो कितना एथिकल है और कितना अनएथिकल है। तो इसीलिए ये इस कमेटी का गठन किया गया है और इसमें उनको पूरा मौका मिला। और इसके साथ साथ जो है जो जयंत दहदराय जी हैं और निशिकांत जी हैं, उनको भी पूरा मौका मिला अपनी बात को रखने का। और उन सब जो है जितने भी वहां पर मेंबर्स थे, उन सब ने भी जो है उनसे क्वेश्चंस किए और उन्होंने अपने अपने बिहाफ पर जो है उसका रिप्लाई भी किया। और खुद जो है महुआ जी ने इस बात को माना है कि उन्होंने कुछ जो है कुछ ये कह सकते हैं कि इन काइंड, जैसे कि कोई स्कार्फ का उन्होंने एडमिट किया कि मैंने जो लिया था, और उन्होंने एडमिट किया कि कोई लिपस्टिक है वो उन्होंने ली थी, और जो लोकल वहां पर जो गाड़ी के लिए, जैसे कार के लिए, उन्होंने कहा कि वो भी उन्होंने फैसिलिटीज जो है वो अवेल की थी। तो ये चीजें उन्होंने खुद एडमिट की हैं। और बहुत से क्वेश्चंस ऐसे थे कि जिनका वो सेटिस्फैक्टरी रिप्लाई नहीं कर पाई, तो फिर वो मुझे लगता है कि शायद वो नहीं ठीक से रिप्लाई कर पाई, तो इसलिए वो एकदम से फिर उन्होंने जो वॉकआउट किया और जो है कमेटी से वो बाहर चली गई। और लेकिन मौका उनको पूरा मिला अपनी बात को रखने का। और मुझे लगता है कि उस मौके को जितना फायदा उनको उठाना चाहिए था वो उतना उन्होंने उठाया नहीं, क्योंकि जब आपके पास सभी मेंबर्स हैं वहां पर और सभी क्रॉस द पार्टी लाइन वहां पर मेंबर्स हैं, तो उनको अपनी बात को जितना वो चाहती है अच्छे तरीके से रखने चाहिए था। इंस्टेड ऑफ के आप वॉकआउट करके चले जाओ, तो उससे तो कोई पर्पस हल नहीं होता है। तो उनको पूरा मौका मिला था, लेकिन उन्होंने जो है, मुझे लगता है कि वो शायद उनके पास जो है वो सेटिस्फैक्टरी रिप्लाई नहीं थे, इसलिए जो है वो वॉकआउट कर गई।
सुनीता जी, ये एथिक्स कमेटी का रिपोर्ट टेबल होने के बाद क्या आपको नहीं लगता है कि थोड़ा समय डिबेट के लिए रिजर्व होना चाहिए था? विपक्ष का कहना है कि 2-3 दिन के लिए डिबेट हो जाए, क्योंकि ये एक मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट है, ये एक ऑनरेबल मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट है, इसलिए इस पे कुछ डिबेट हो जाए। लेकिन ऐसा लगता है कि रिपोर्ट टेबल होने के बाद 1 ही घंटे के अंदर उनका एक्सपल्शन हो गया, तो एक जल्दबाजी में हो गया, ये एक परसेप्शन है और एक आरोप भी है।
देखिए, ये सब कुछ, चाहे जयंत दहदराय जी की बात करें, चाहे जो हीरानंदानी जी ने जो एफिडेविट दिया, चाहे जो भी निशिकांत दुबे जी ने कहा, वो सब का सब ऑलरेडी पब्लिक डोमेन में था। इसके बाद केवल और केवल रिपोर्ट जो ऐसी थी कि जिसको जो है वो टेबल किया गया, तो उस रिपोर्ट के अंदर उन्हीं सभी बातों को ध्यान में रखते हुए उन्हीं के बेसिस के ऊपर ही जो है वो रिकमेंडेशन की गई थी। तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि ऐसा कुछ था कि रिपोर्ट को जो है वो 2 घंटे के अंदर पढ़ने के बाद उसके ऊपर कोई ना कोई अगर काउंटर क्वेश्चंस करना चाहते हैं तो वो ना कर सकें।
सुनीता जी, क्या आपको लगता है कि महुआ मोइत्रा को जब ये रिपोर्ट टेबल हुआ था, उनको एक स्टेटमेंट या बयान करने की इजाजत देनी चाहिए थी पार्लियामेंट में? क्योंकि वो बाहर जाके बयान दे रही है, लेकिन एज एन ऑनरेबल मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट एक्सपल्शन के पहले उनको परमिशन देनी चाहिए थी। क्या आपको लगता है ये?
देखिए, सभी चाहे रिपोर्ट्स की बात करें या कि जो कुछ भी जो है उन्होंने जो एथिक्स कमेटी के सामने रखा, वो सबका सब उन्होंने अपनी पार्टी फोरम पर भी रखा होगा, मुझे जहां तक लगता है, क्योंकि उनके जो एक पार्टी के जो मेंबर थे, उन्होंने उनके बिहाफ पर सभी बातों को रखा वहां पर। उनको जब एथिक्स कमेटी में मौका मिला था सभी बातें रखने का, तो यहाँ पर उनकी जो है उनकी पार्टी के एक सदस्य ने उनके बिहाफ पर सभी बातों को रखा था।
सुनीता जी, हमारे पार्लियामेंट रिपोर्टर पोलोमी साहब भी हैं हमारे साथ। पोलोमी, गो अहेड, आस्क योर क्वेश्चन टू सुनीता दुग्गल।
सुनीता जी, आपने जो विपक्ष का कहना है, उनका कहना है कि आपने दर्शन हीरानंदानी के स्वोन एफिडेविट को फेस वैल्यू पर ले लिया। दर्शन हीरानंदानी ने कमेटी के सामने डिपोज भी नहीं किया। कोर्स ऑफ नेचुरल जस्टिस ये कहता है कि अगर एक ब्राइब गिवर है और एक ब्राइब टेकर है तो ब्राइब गिवर को भी आप कटघरे में खड़ा करते हो। दर्शन हीरानंदानी से कोई सवाल जवाब नहीं हुआ, उन्होंने कैश का जिक्र नहीं किया था, उन्होंने 2-4 लग्जरी आइटम्स और ट्रैवल एक्सपेंसेस और हॉलीडेज के लिए मैंने पे किया ये कहा है, पर इसका सबूत कहाँ है? क्या उन्होंने आपको कोई आइटमाइज लिस्ट दी है कि क्या क्या गिफ्ट दिए हैं उन्होंने महुआ मोइत्रा को? तो उनसे कोई सवाल जवाब क्यों नहीं?
देखिए, ऐसा है कि इसमें 2-3 तरह के क्वेश्चंस जो हैं वो जो है राइज होते हैं। नंबर एक बात तो ये है कि क्या कोई मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट अपना पर्सनल जो पार्लियामेंट का लॉगिन आईडी है वो किसी को दे सकता है, और वो भी किसी कॉरपोरेट सेक्टर को, अपने किसी पीए को भी आप रखते हैं, पीएस को भी आप रखते हैं, तो वो आपके घर से वो सब चीज़ों को ऑपरेट करते हैं। तो पहला क्वेश्चन तो यही उठता है कि क्या जो है कोई कॉरपोरेट सेक्टर जो है इस तरह के उसको आप अपना लॉगिन आईडी दे सकते हैं। नंबर एक बात ये है। नंबर दूसरी बात ये है कि एक ही समय पर अलग अलग कंट्रीज से जो हैं वो आपके लॉगिन पासवर्ड से जो है वो उसको इस्तेमाल किया जा रहा है, और उससे क्वेश्चंस जो है वो पूछे जा रहे हैं। एक ही टाइम में आप यूएस से आपके क्वेश्चंस आ रहे हैं, आपके दुबई से आ रहे हैं, आपके दिल्ली से आ रहे हैं, आपके मुंबई से आ रहे हैं, तो ये सब चीज़ें जो है काफ़ी संशय पैदा करता है। अब दूसरी बात आती है कि आपने पूरे अपने टेन्योर में 60 क्वेश्चंस जो हैं वो पुट किए, और उसमें से 51 क्वेश्चंस जो हैं वो उस कॉरपोरेट सेक्टर के जो है जिस बिजनेस में वो बिलोंग करते हैं, जिस बिजनेस में वो हैं, उस बिजनेस से रिलेटेड आप क्वेश्चंस पूछ रहे हैं। क्या आप अपनी कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी के बारे में कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछ रहे हैं? जिन लोगों को आप रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं, 17 से लेकर 18 लाख 20 लाख के करीब लोगों को आप रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं, उस कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी के बारे में आपके पास एक भी सवाल नहीं है क्या? तो ये दूसरी बात है। तीसरी बात फिर ये आती है कि जब उनसे पूछा गया तो उन्होंने एडमिट किया कि हाँ, कि उसी कॉरपोरेट सेक्टर से उन्होंने कुछ जो भी चीज़ें उन्होंने एडमिट की कि हाँ मैंने ये स्कार्फ लिया, मैंने जो है वहाँ पर गाड़ी का इस्तेमाल जो है मैंने उनकी तरफ से करवाया, मैंने जो है ब्यूटी के कुछ आइटम्स जो हैं वो मैंने उनसे लिए, उन चीज़ों को उन्होंने एडमिट भी किया। तो ये 3 अलग अलग तरह के सवाल हैं। तो मुझे लगता है इन सब बातों को ध्यान में रखते हुए ये लगता है ऐसा कि किसी मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट को, किसी जनप्रतिनिधि को सदन की मर्यादा, सदन की गरिमा को ध्यान में रखते हुए जो है वो आचरण करना चाहिए, क्योंकि जैसा आप एक प्रतिनिधि होने के नाते आप आचरण करते हैं, आपके इलाके के लोग हैं, लोग आपको अब देखते हैं, आपके ना केवल पूरे हिंदुस्तान के अंदर बल्कि बाहर में, दुनिया में बाहर भी जो है वो देखा जाता है कि पार्लियामेंट के अंदर क्या चल रहा है, पार्लियामेंट के जो मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट है वो उनका बिहेवियर कैसा है, उनका आचरण कैसा है। तो अगर आपका ऐसा आचरण रहेगा तो आपके जो वहाँ पे जो फॉलोअर्स हैं उन सबके ऊपर क्या असर पड़ेगा, कहाँ पर आपकी सदन की गरिमा है, कहाँ आपकी मर्यादाएं हैं। तो ये सब जो है वो जिम्मेवारी बनती है एक पब्लिक फिगर की, एक पब्लिक रिप्रेजेंटेटिव की, कि वो इस तरह का आचरण करें कि ताकि लोग उनको फॉलो करें।
सुनीता जी, एक आखिरी सवाल, एक सवाल ये भी उठेगा कि एथिक्स कमेटी एक सेलेक्टिव एप्लीकेशन ऑफ एक्शन कर रहा है, क्योंकि महुआ मोइत्रा के अलावा और भी मेंबर्स ऑफ पार्लियामेंट हैं जिनका दुर्व्यवहार को लेकर काफ़ी चर्चा हुआ है मीडिया में, पब्लिक स्पेस में, लेकिन एथिक्स कमेटी उनके खिलाफ कुछ नहीं करता। इसको आप कैसे डिफेंड करेंगे? सेलेक्टिव लगता है, ये भी एक आरोप है आपके खिलाफ।
देखिए ऐसा है कि किसी के साथ व्यवहार जो है वो आमने सामने किसी का दुर्व्यवहार हो सकता है, किसी का सदव्यवहार हो सकता है, लेकिन जो एक मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट होने के नाते आपकी जो एक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी बनती है, जो उसमें आपका जो आचरण होना चाहिए कि वो उसके अंदर अगर कहीं संशय नजर आता है तो मुझे लगता है कि वो बहुत सीरियस मैटर है, उसको बहुत सीरियसली जो है वो नोटिस किया जाना चाहिए। और इसीलिए जो है इसके अंदर एथिकल जो हमारी एथिक्स की कमेटी है उन्होंने सबको प्रॉपर टाइम देने के बाद जो है उनको सबको सुनने के बाद अपनी रिपोर्ट पेश की।
सुनीता जी, थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर स्पीकिंग टू इंडिया टुडे। हमसे बात करने के लिए बहुत धन्यवाद। So the questions for the Ethics Committee of Parliament will continue. We've put all those questions to the Ethics Committee, but they don't believe that anything wrong has taken place. But those questions definitely stand, and we will ask them here on India Today. But how did things precipitate to this point? From the eruption of those allegations, Jai Dayadrai and then Darshan Hiranandani, all of it becoming this huge volcano inside Parliament. Then it escalated and finally ended in today's expulsion. Take a look at how today actually played out.
Direct involvement in cash war, curry query in Parliament with reference to the examination and investigation of the alleged unethical conduct of Srimati Mahua Moitra.
Chaos unfolded in Parliament.
Of the House.
At the center of it all, the Trinamool leader, Mahua Moitra herself.
दिनांक 8 दिसंबर 2023 को सभा पटल पर रखे गए आचार संहिता की प्रति रिपोर्ट में निहित सिफारिशों से सहमत है। जो सदस्य इसके प्रस्ताव के पक्ष में हाँ गए, जो विरोध में ना गए, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में हाँ वालों के पक्ष में हुआ, प्रस्ताव स्वीकृत हुआ।
The outspoken ex-Lok Sabha member grappling with a cash for query allegations expelled from the Lok Sabha after the motion was put to vote.
Following that this House do agree with the recommendation contained.
The decision followed the Lok Sabha Ethics Committee presenting and tabling its report in the House,
Dated 15th October 20.
recommending her expulsion from the Lok Sabha over accusations of accepting bribes from businessman Darshan Hiranandani in exchange for submitting pre-approved questions in the House. The Congress stood firmly behind Moitra in the House, requesting time to review the report and an opportunity for the accused MP to present her defense in the Lok Sabha.
तो इसलिए मैं आप मेरा तरफ से मेरी पार्टी की तरफ से सर आपसे ये मांग भी रखी है कि 3-4 दिन की मोहलत अब दिया करो और इस बीच हम सही ढंग से पढ़े विचार विमर्श करें और फिर सदन में आकर एक सही ढंग से चर्चा कर जो आप चाहते हैं।
जो अखबारों में पढ़ा उससे बहुत साफ तौर पर ये चीज निकल के आई कि जिनको अभियुक्त बनाया गया, जिनके ऊपर लांछन लगाए गए, उनको अपनी बात पूरी तरह रखने का मौका भी नहीं दिया गया। ये किस तरह का प्रोसीजर है?
The Speaker dismissed requests from both the Congress and Mahua's own party, the Trinamool, to allow her to present her case in the House, citing a precedent from a 2005 incident when several MPs were expelled from the House over cash for query allegations in a similar manner. The BJP supported the Ethics Committee's recommendations, asserting that proper procedures were followed in its proceedings.
एथिक्स कमेटी के सामने माननीय सांसद महोदया को पूरा मौका मिला, उनकी बात रखने का मौका मिला और मिस्टर हीरा नंदानी जो इस कंपनी के प्रमुख हैं और जिनके पास से गिफ्ट्स और पैसे लेने के जो आरोप यहाँ पे थे, उसमें मिस्टर हीरा नंदानी ने खुद एफिडेविट कर एथिक्स कमेटी को दिया है और वो जो एफिडेविट उन्होंने किया है वो इंडियन एम्बेसी के डेप्यूटी काउंसलेट जनरल जो दुबई में है उनके सामने शपथ लेकर उन्होंने ये एफिडेविट किया हुआ है। सर, ये पक्ष या विपक्ष का सवाल नहीं है, ये संसद की मर्यादा का सवाल है।
With Congress leader Sonia Gandhi and other allies standing in solidarity firmly behind the expelled Trinamool MP.
Justice has been denied to Mahua Moitra.
The expelled MP from West Bengal denounced the decision as a kangaroo court judgment. She insists that the Ethics Committee had no evidence of bribes exchanged as alleged in the original complaint.
It refused to summon the businessmen to orally testify, and there is no evidence of any cash, of any gifts anywhere. The recommendation of expulsion is based solely on the ground that I have shared my Lok Sabha portal login.
Mahua Moitra also refuted accusations of sharing login credentials.
All of us MPs are conveyor belts to get questions from the public, from citizens, and to voice that in Parliament.
A new rallying point for the India Alliance as they walk united once again. After appearing disjointed earlier this week following the Congress's drubbing in the Hindi heartland, could this be a new signal moment for opposition unity? With Polomi Saha in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
Most important person, Hiranandani.
In November, in the lead up to what has happened with the expulsion today, just days after the Cash for Query revelations against Mahua Moitra unraveled, the then Trinamool MP spoke to India Today's Rajdeep Sardesai in the most detailed series of interviews. Here's the salient points of what she said in her defense.
I want to ask you right at the very outset, do you accept that the charges that have been made against you, which are now part of an ethics committee investigation, are very serious in nature?
The very nature of the ethics committee, Rajdeep, I have in front of me the Parliamentary Committee on Ethics, and the first thing that the ethics committee tells you that any complaint that has to be made that is not false, frivolous, vexatious, and has to be made in good faith. Let us look at who's making the charges here. Please let us look at who's making the charges. The charges been made by not some researcher advocate in the Supreme Court. The charge has been made by a person with an established acrimonious personal relationship with me, who is engaged in a custody battle over a pet. As ridiculous as it may sound, that is the established truth. These charges have then been forwarded on to by a member of parliament who has been engaged in a very bitter feud with me over the last 3 or 4 years, and against whom I have even filed a privilege motion for faking his academic qualifications, which, by the way, the very same privileges committee should look into and has not looked into. So the charges right now, the very basis of it reaching the ethics committee is false and frivolous.
The chairperson says you've used unparliamentary language backed by the BJP MPs.
No, one second. Everything is transcribed. There's nothing secret. I have not used any unparliamentary language. Nobody has used any unparliamentary language. The chairperson was reading out from a script that had been handed to him. His line of questioning was filthy. I am standing there. There are two issues. One is the NIC login, and we need to make this public. There's no rule 275 which is going to protect anybody else. You want to expel us all? Please expel us all, because this BJP government has taken every rule, every structure that we had in this country and thrown it out of the window. So don't expect us to adhere to anything, and you quote us rule 275. What they did from the beginning was, the rule is, I came in, I gave my statement, then they're supposed to ask, everyone's supposed to ask questions. Before anybody else could start, the chairperson had a 10 or 12 page list of questions. His line of questioning had nothing to do with the two main questions. Why have I been called? One is use of the NIC login, whether it's authorized, unauthorized, and the repercussions of that. That is one issue. The second issue is the purported cash and gifts that you can ask me about, which has been provided with evidence you can ask me about, which I'm perfectly willing to answer.
And after this very, very short break, Prime Minister Modi goes all guns blazing at the Congress, says, who are they to lecture others on corruption when rooms stuffed with cash have been found belonging to a Congress MP from Jharkhand? That big story next.
The true viewership king stands tall. Absolute domination on results day. Viewership super smash.
The live concurrent data clearly shows India Today's lead is almost thrice. You could add up Times Now and Republic. Rajdeep, I think you can add all of them and they still won't come to India Today.
Since you have advertised this program as double engine, BJP ka double engine clear hai.
Decimates the competition. Viewers reward India's #1 channel. No fakery, no fixing. Only facts. India's true #1 channel.
Row over NCP MLA Nawab Malik's attendance in the State Assembly. Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis wrote a letter to his fellow Deputy Chief Minister and alliance partner Ajit Pawar expressing his opposition to inducting NCP MLA Nawab Malik into the Mahayuti government.
Fadnavis in his letter mentioned that BJP has no problem if Nawab Malik attends the assembly session, as there is no personal grudge against him, but added that he should not be made part of the Grand Alliance due to the charges levelled against him. Fadnavis added that Ajit Pawar should think if it would harm the alliance. Meanwhile, Ajit Pawar's faction was unhappy with the letter, and they said that there was no need to write a letter, and Fadnavis should have told this to Ajit Pawar in person.
ये जो खत लिखा है वो देवेंद्र जी ने अजीत दादा को लिखा है, डिप्टी सीएम को लिखा है, और उसमें ऐसा लिखा है कि नवाब भाई जब वहां आए थे और बाद में सत्ताधारी बेंच के ऊपर जाके वो बैठे, उसके बाद स्पॉन्टेनियसली जल्द से जल्द ये खत देवेंद्र जी ने लिखा है। ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि 8-10 दिन के बाद आंदोलन होने के बाद लिखा है, 1 महीने के बाद लिखा है, 2 महीने के बाद लिखा है। उन्होंने आज वो बैठे नवाब भाई, और उसके बाद त्वरित उन्होंने ये लेटर लिखा है। इसलिए मेरे ख्याल से तीनों जो लीडर है, एकनाथ जी शिंदे साहब है, देवेंद्र जी है और अजीत दादा है, बैठ के जो सब्जेक्ट है वो सॉर्ट आउट कर सकते हैं। और इसमें मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि जो भूमिका देवेंद्र जी ने वहां बताई है, खत में बताई है, वो हमारी भी भूमिका है कि जब तक खत में जो लिखा है वो जब तक नहीं होता तब तक उनको महायुति में लेना प्रॉब्लमेटिक हो सकता है। और ये भूमिका स्पष्ट रूप से मेरे ख्याल से देवेंद्र जी ने वहां लिखी है।
मैं खुद चाहता हूं कि इस तरीके से पत्र वायरल ना हो। जो कुछ भी देवेंद्र जी को कहना है वो खुद जाके अजीत दादा से मिले, और अजीत दादा समर्थ है नवाब भाई के बारे में, वो क्या डिसीजन ले सकते हैं वो खुद उसके बारे में समर्थ है। इस तरीके से पत्र सार्वजनिक करना महायुति के गठबंधन को एक तरीके से हम, यानी क्या बोल सकते हैं उसको, एक तरीके से हम उसको मान्यता नहीं दे रहे। इस तरीके से होता है। मेरी खुद की राय है कि अगर नवाब भाई के बारे में आपकी कोई शिकायत हो तो खुद जाके अजीत दादा के साथ मिलकर भी एक बात आप कर सकते थे। लेकिन ठीक है, आपने पत्र वायरल किया तो इसका जवाब भी अजीत दादा ही देंगे।
ये जो खत लिखा है वो देवेंद्र जी ने अजीत दादा को लिखा है, डिप्टी सीएम को लिखा है, और उसमें ऐसा लिखा है कि नवाब भाई जब वहां आए थे और बाद में सत्ताधारी बेंच के ऊपर जाके वो बैठे, उसके बाद स्पॉन्टेनियसली जल्द से जल्द ये खत देवेंद्र जी ने लिखा है। ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि 8-10 दिन के बाद आंदोलन होने के बाद लिखा है, 1 महीने के बाद लिखा है, 2 महीने के बाद लिखा है। उन्होंने आज वो बैठे नवाब भाई, और उसके बाद त्वरित उन्होंने ये लेटर लिखा है। इसलिए मेरे ख्याल से तीनों जो लीडर है, एकनाथ जी शिंदे साहब है, देवेंद्र जी है और अजीत दादा है, बैठ के जो सब्जेक्ट है वो सॉर्ट आउट कर सकते हैं। और इसमें मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि जो भूमिका देवेंद्र जी ने वहां बताई है, खत में बताई है, वो हमारी भी भूमिका है कि जब तक खत में जो लिखा है वो जब तक नहीं होता तब तक उनको महायुति में लेना प्रॉब्लमेटिक हो सकता है। और ये भूमिका स्पष्ट रूप से मेरे ख्याल से देवेंद्र जी ने वहां लिखी है।
India Today brought you reports from South Chennai to show you the kind of suffering that people are undergoing due to the flood situation. And now we report from North Chennai, and these are visuals of people being rescued from different parts of North Chennai using a tractor. I'm just going to speak to some of them here. Sir, what happened? How was the situation in your house?
Situation was not good. The power cutoff was around 2 days back. There is no power supply, there is no water supply. Where there is power supply, there is no water supply. And currently the situation inside North Town is very bad.
And where are you now going to?
We are going to my one more relative's Some of them are willing to go, some of them will stay.
And how difficult is it for all of them?
It is very difficult because there is no lift power, so due to there is no lift. So people from 11th floor, 12th floor have to come down and take all the medical supplies.
Thank you. So you can see the kind of situation that is unfolding. People are being rescued here using tractors, using lorries and other trucks. And even elderly citizens, you can see sitting on the back of that tractor. So this is what is the situation, because several residential areas in North Chennai too, their water has entered, and because of that, several people are stranded. Once again, there's very poor network here. There is no electricity, no water, and no food, basic essentials for many of them living here, and that is the reason why they've been, waiting for someone to come and rescue them, to leave to another place, to leave to a safer location, or at least give them some relief items so that they can make it through the next couple of days until water recedes in areas such as these. With video journalist Daniel, this is Shilpa Nair in Chennai for India Today.
The Congress has fought several elections this year on the plank of anti-corruption. Whether it is Pay CM, whether it is a campaign against Shivraj Singh Chauhan or against KCR in Telangana, corruption has been a plank. But how does that look in the face of these images that have come in from Jharkhand? The man you see on your screen is Dheeraj Sahu. He's a Rajya Sabha member of parliament from the Congress party. But it is what has been found in premises linked to him and owned by him in different parts of Odisha that have truly shocked. Rooms stuffed full of cash, as far as the eye can see, have all come to the notice of Indian agencies. Now, Dheeraj Sahu is not any ordinary neta of the Congress party. He's someone who has walked with Rahul Gandhi during the Bharat Jodo Yatra. He has personally met Rahul Gandhi several times. He's someone who really obviously has more access than most in the Congress party. And it is in his businesses or areas linked to him that all this cash has been found. This might seem normal in the Indian political atmosphere, but Prime Minister Modi has jumped in to take a big pot shot at the Congress party, accusing them of having a legacy of corruption that necessitates this sort of cash pile. I want to bring in India Today's Munish Pandey for more on this. Munish, the viral images are there to see. The politics and the political attacks by the Prime Minister are there to see. But break it down for us. This is a Rajya Sabha MP, a senior elected representative from the Congress party. What is this cash and what action is being taken against Dheeraj Sahu?
Well, Shiv, this action by the Income Tax Department was on a liquor businessman, and that businessman was connected to Dheeraj Sahu, one of the Rajya Sabha member from the Congress party. But when the raid started on Wednesday, the Income Tax Department got to know about several almirahs, having large amount of cash. And believe me, it has been almost 2 days, but several officials of Income Tax Department with the counting machines, they are still counting. And what we have been given to understand is that the amount of cash seizure may go beyond 250 crore rupees. And this might be historic, Shiv, because, before that, such amount of cash was not found anywhere in the country. But as far as politics is concerned, remember Prime Minister Narendra Modi took a jibe on Congress party that they talk about corruption, but they should look at their own party members. As far as BJP is concerned, they have been very constant on one line that they are against corruption, and that is why we have seen not only this time but in recent past also, be it West Bengal, be it Jharkhand, be it Chhattisgarh, huge amount of cash was recovered by the central agencies. But this 250 crore is something like an eye-opener for those who talk about corruption, because this time the money has not been recovered by someone who was allegedly involved in money laundering or siphoning of money, but someone who is a politician, and not only politician, a well-known politician whose images are, with Rahul Gandhi, the Congress party.
This is not going to fly easy for the Congress party that's been using corruption as an attempted plank against the BJP. We're entering another big election season now in the run-up to 2024. You can be sure that these images are going to be some of the most shared images by the BJP in the hours and the days ahead. Munish, thanks for bringing us perspective on that big viral story on which the Prime Minister himself has put out a social media post. We're taking a very quick break here on the news. On the other side, a very important story about one of India's most used painkiller medicines called Meftal. You've probably heard of it. Well, there's bad news for those who use Meftal or continue to use it. We'll tell you what it is on the other side.
Joining us is Chennai Police Commissioner Sandeep Rai Rathod. Sir, many thanks for speaking to us. We can see how your entire team, the top brass of the Chennai Police is here. You're trying to provide relief to those who are, who are in need of help. Tell us the situation so far. How many teams have you deployed on ground to provide relief?
We have been telling for last 3 to 4 days, Chennai City Police, more than 18,000 of our police personnel are on duty. So apart from this waterlogged area where we have to send boats and those who are trained in flood relief, they are being deployed so that they can go for a proper rescue. So all the boats which you can see from coming from our SDRF, NDRF, and we had created 12 teams before. So DDRF, they are all in operation in these parts. So waterlogged area, flooding area has a different kind of relief mechanism, but those areas which are not flooded are getting back to normal, including traffic, and where the trees had fallen down on the roads, we are restoring normalcy of life. Okay. So there are various kind of operations which are being held throughout the city. So right now, presently, what you say is the rescue and relief to the people who are marooned and who are stranded. Here also we are giving food, medicine, water, and those who want to get evacuated, we are helping them evacuate.
Sir, you will have a good assessment of the ground situation. You are of course getting updates, timely updates. Which are some of the worst affected places in Chennai at this point in time?
See, Chennai, Greater Chennai, and along with the 2 other commissionerates, Tambram and Avadi, certain areas which are in the southern periphery are low-lying are more affected, where the water has stagnated. Other parts of the city are mostly normal, and it's only water logging in certain low-lying stretches. So it is not overall area. So the affected areas are very less, and in the southern fringes of the city.
What is the extent of damage, loss of lives and extent of damage? Is there an assessment?
We have only reported only 6 loss of life due to flooding and drowning. Overall estimation, lots of our other departments and Greater Chennai Corporation and the collector office have been doing.
And sir, there are of course complaints because people here have no access to communication. They're not able to reach out to the government. So there are of course complaints that enough help is not being given. How do you plan on addressing that? Not just the police department.
Overall, there is a coordinated effort. You can see the senior most formation of police itself is here. So there is no dearth in coordination and facilities. Only thing, there are certain situations which are overwhelming, which we are trying to overcome.
Thank you so much for speaking to us.
It's a drug called Meftal, and it's a drug whose name is familiar to many people in this country, especially women and children. But did you know that Meftal is now under a pretty disturbing glare? Talk to your doctor about it. The Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission has issued a drug safety alert about the painkiller Meftal as it triggers something called DRESS syndrome. Take a look at this detailed report by India Today's Sneha Murdani.
It is a medicine that is popped indiscriminately. It would be difficult to find any woman who has not used it. It is available over the counter like many other drugs and bought